Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Thursday, the 3rd of August. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hope you guys are having a great week. So helping people with life's challenges through outreach is the mission of Colby's Army, a Tennessee-based nonprofit out of Cheatham County. Now, I met up with the founder, Lisa Wysocky, and some of her volunteers as they were heading out to connect with some of the homeless community in West Nashville. Stay with us this morning to hear how through outreach and support, some of these homeless men and women are making the transition from the streets to housing. We'll also hear more on the awareness campaign Colby's Army is kicking off later this month and how you can get involved. August is Hummingbird Month at Woodlands Nature Station in Cadiz. That's not too far of a drive from any of us. Learn all of that you can about these small, glittery, colorful birds when you visit. And in a few short minutes, we'll have some fun facts for you, information on programs there at the Woodlands Nature Station, and the upcoming festival happening this weekend. Also today, Devon O'Day takes us to a town that I called home for my young life, White Bluff. She introduces us and shares the story of a sweet spot there in White Bluff, as well as the local pharmacy. But first this morning, let's get a check at some of our headlines that you can find at mainstreetmediatn.com. Here's a look at one of the pictures from the mock active shooter drill at Cheatham County High School from July 27th. CCCHS staff participated along with Cheatham County law enforcement agencies and emergency management departments. The course is certified by the Homeland Security National Training Program and led by LSU's National Center for Biomedical Research and Training. You can see more of the pictures by going to our website, mainstreetmediatn.com. The annual Kubota Hometown Proud Grant Program has its 5 winners for this year. One of the winners is Black Farms Food and Families Project, supported by local Kubota dealer Absolute Kubota. Less than 2% of all growers in America are Black farmers. Now, Fiddler's Grove Historic Village aims to revitalize minority interest in agriculture in Wilson County through the Seed to Feed project. But your vote is needed. You can learn more about the program and how to vote by visiting our website, mainstreetmediatn.com. And if you missed it, July 31st, 2023 was officially Joseph Newgarden Day in Tennessee. The recent Indy 500 winner and Hendersonville native is now gearing up for this weekend's Music City Grand Prix. Newgarden said Monday afternoon that I would never have imagined growing up as a kid having the opportunities in life that I've had. Read more about his racing accomplishments by going to mainstreetmediatn.com and clicking on Main Street Preps. Let's get a check of that forecast for all of you heading out to that Grand Prix and any other activities over the weekend. We'll get that from the team over at Tennessee Valley Weather.
Unsettled weather pattern that looks like for the next several days, going all the way into early to the middle of next week, where daily elevated chances of showers and thunderstorms will be around. So from late tonight all the way through, I would say at least next Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, there's going to be a daily rain chance of at least 40 or 50%. And some days like tomorrow on Thursday, it could be even higher than that. We're going to go with about a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms for both Thursday and Friday, and it's at least 40 or 50 all the way through the next 7 days. I don't have my pretty TV graphics to show you that, but that's the general idea with daily rain chances for the next 7 days. Temperatures for the next 7 days look to be near average or just a little bit below that. Upper 80s to near 90 as we head through the weekend here over southern middle Tennessee. This is for Lawrenceburg, and this is the National Weather Service forecast. You see it's getting back to the lower 90s over the weekend after hanging out in the upper 80s for the rest of the week. Morning lows in the lower 70s as we head through the next several days with the mugginess around. But as we head into next week, we may see a weak cool front get down in here, and there will still be showers and thunderstorms around, but that may knock us back into the upper 80s. We'll see about that because sometimes these extended range fronts haven't always worked out this summer. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I do think that looks like a pretty decent expectation. These are the temperatures for the shoals of northwest Alabama, and it's a little bit warmer, especially the next few days here, because you're going to be on the south side of that boundary sagging in. So even if we're up into the only into the upper 80s over southern middle Tennessee. You may be in the mid 90s over northwest Alabama. So for the next few days, I think we're talking about low to mid 90s, maybe a little warmer on Thursday ahead of those thunderstorms. A lot of that on Thursday is going to hinge on how fast the storms move in and how widespread they'll be during the late morning. That 97, that's the National Weather Service forecast for Muscle Shoals. I could say it very well may not get that warm if the thunderstorms move in during the late morning hours. So we head into the weekend, mid 90s look to be likely over northwest Alabama, and then that front sinks in early next week, and just like it does over southern middle Tennessee, that knocks the temperatures back a few degrees over northwest Alabama as well.
I'm excited this morning to introduce you to the founder of Colby's Army out of Cheatham County. We have Lisa Wysocky with us. First off, Lisa, thank you for your time.
You are so welcome.
And big thanks to what you do. For those who are not familiar with Colby's Army, what is your mission?
So we help people with life challenges, and that includes homelessness. We also have a therapeutic riding program at our farm in Ashland City, and some of the people that we serve in homelessness then come out and learn life skills through the horses after they've been housed.
I can't wait to learn a little more about that, but there is something that you're working on right now for an awareness campaign just to bring attention to the homelessness in our communities and what you may not know. How bad is it, would you say?
You know, we see new homeless every week. We see people who are losing housing. We see people who are living in cars. We see people who are living in tents. And it seems like every person who gets housed, there's two more coming. It's sad.
That is sad. And how do you, or as you're talking with these people, how are they working to get out of that situation, and how is what you're doing with them helping them do that?
You know, we're working collaboratively with a number of organizations, a number of other providers, and collaboratively we work to connect them with a housing navigator, to connect them with health providers, to connect them with social workers, and we are primarily a street outreach organization. So we will work to find people who are newly homeless, find people who have not been able to get housed, and just hold their hand all the way until they, have that key and they can open the door to their own place.
That's beautiful. And this is boots on the ground. So on this day, you guys are getting ready to go out into communities in West Nashville.
We are. And so we see as many as 67 people today in the West Nashville area who are unhoused. And some are in various stages of homelessness. Some are brand new. Some have been out here for 10 years or more.
I've heard this in the past, people may have a misconception of homelessness. Some of these people, I mean, they have, different backgrounds. They come from different areas.
Oh, yeah. So there's no socioeconomic or education level or race or sex or gender, anything that defines homelessness. I mean, we see everything. And, we see people who there's a man who has gotten a divorce and then he lost his job. And then he was in a rental house, and a tornado took the rental house out. He was living in his car. He got sick, couldn't make his car payment, so he lost his car. And here he is homeless. And a year ago, he was working a well-paying job. Yeah.
How can we help you do what you do?
You can go to our website at colbysarmy.org. So it's pretty intensive, and we've got a lot of resources on our website, a lot of information, and we always have needs. We always need bottled water. We always need, a lot of things, and those things are on our website. Obviously, financial donations, even $10 makes a big difference, to us.
Gotcha. Lisa, I very much appreciate that. Now, what about what's happening, the event that you have happening later on in August? And I wish I had my calendar. I think it's the 26th.
It is. It's August 26th at 8:30 in the morning on the Cheatham County Courthouse Square. We, along with a number of other providers in Cheatham County, have kind of gotten together to form a Cheatham County Homeless Coalition, because we go out and we talk to the community a lot, and people say, well, there aren't any homeless around here, but there are. There's homeless in every community, and rural homelessness looks different than city homelessness. So we might have somebody who's living in an abandoned garage, somebody who might be camping out in a barn, somebody who might be living in somebody's garage. All of those qualify as homeless. And Cheatham County School System, I think the last time I talked with them, had 42 families that they had identified who were homeless. So we want to bring awareness to the situation that these people need a leg up. They just need some help. And we don't have a lot of services in Cheatham County yet. We're hoping that that will change soon as part of the awareness campaign. And we're hoping that, just letting people know that there are people in need in the community, that, people will open their hearts and donate to us or some of the other organizations, or just, if they see somebody who's homeless, just hand them a bottle of water, get to know them, just maybe their church community can help. So we just want to bring awareness to the situation and see where it goes from there.
So on the 26th, we just show up, or you're doing teams?
So here's the thing. On the 26th, this is the fun part.
Okay.
On the 26th, we are doing teams, and you have to sign up. You can just search Cheatham County Homeless Coalition. There is a website, and teams of 4 to 6 are going to be building houses out of cardboard. And the houses, they will have an hour to build the house, and you might be able to qualify for an extra pile, so you might get a piece of lumber or some rope or a tarp for your house, and then the houses will be judged. We've got prizes, we've got all kinds of fun stuff happening, and so we're just hoping that people can come, and it can be a family thing, it can be a work thing, just bring a crew, sign up online ahead of time, and just kind of get to know what it's like to be homeless a little bit.
Just really open our eyes to what
Yes.
some others are struggling with.
Yeah,
and going through.
we feel it's a fun event to talk about a very serious subject.
100%.
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you so much for
You're
this.
so welcome.
Last question for you. Where did Colby's Army come from? Where did that name come from?
So Colby was my son, and he passed away in 2009 at the age of 23 from an overdose. He had a lot of mental illnesses, and that caused him the last 6 months of his life to become homeless. He could not be in a building. He could not feel safe with the walls closing in on him. And so when he passed, he had been the type of child who just came home without his shirt or his shoes, or he had given them to somebody who needed them more. And so when he passed, his friends and my friends said, we've got to keep that good work going. And that's how we started Colby's Army. And we started in late 2009, and here we are. What
a beautiful thing to do. I look forward to continuing to follow you guys. Thank you, Lisa, so very much. But again, that campaign, you can take part of that on the 26th, on Saturday, 8:30 in the morning at the Cheatham County Courthouse.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up right after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
Y'all, I'm serious right now. They have a dragon here. I saw it.
Get out of here.
Come on, I'll show you.
Wait up.
Whoa! I told you so. That is a dragon.
Welcome back. You see them buzzing and zooming around gardens, flowers, feeders. I'm talking about the beautiful hummingbirds. Did you know that hummingbirds can beat their wings up to 50 times per second? That is amazing, and they fly incredibly fast. To tell us where we can continue to learn about hummingbirds this month, we have Annabelle Barr from the Woodlands Nature Station out of Cadiz, Kentucky. First off, Annabelle, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So it's a big month. This is known as Hummingbird Month for you guys. What can we learn there at the Nature Station?
Goodness, we are celebrating hummingbirds all month long, and everybody, or most people, know these little bejeweled buzzing birds, but there's a lot to learn about them. So we really want to be able to show people some of the amazing biology about these birds, and then also how you can attract more into your backyard and successfully feed them and have them in your yard.
Though I want people to come out there to the Woodlands Nature Station, go ahead and share with us now what makes them so special.
Yeah, hummingbirds are fascinating. They are so small, but they do so much. I like to describe them as a bird that it's trying its hardest to be a bug. So they are buzzing around. They're visiting flowers. They're eating other insects. They can beat their wings, like you said, up to 50 times a minute. Their heartbeat gets up to 250 beats per minute. So they are living their life at like 5 times the speed that we are, trying to survive and make it out there. But they're eating nectar, like the sugar water that we put in our hummingbird feeders, but they're also eating a lot of tiny insects like gnats and mosquitoes.
So hummingbirds are a bird that we want around. We would like to attract more to get rid of those gnats and mosquitoes.
Absolutely.
You guys put out those hummingbird feeders. And did I read correctly that they can fly up to 30 miles per hour and then at a dive at 60 miles per hour? Is that right?
Yeah, so they're moving around fast all the time, but when they dive, and they usually do these dives during their courtship rituals, where a male is trying really hard to impress a lady, he'll do this U-shaped dive where he's going back and forth, and on that downswing, they can reach 60 miles per hour.
That's incredible. Now, how can we attract more hummingbirds to wherever we are? So if we want to put something in the backyard or the front yard, what do we need to do?
Yeah, so usually people know about hummingbird feeders, and that's super important. You want to fill those with a mixture of sugar and water. We make our own. You don't have to buy any. Just 4 parts water to 1 part sugar. And fill up that feeder. Make sure you keep it clean. Change out that water every at least 3 days. But that's not the only thing that our hummingbirds need. So they need food. They also need access to water. So you can put out a small dish of water, or maybe you already have a bird bath or a fountain. And they also need shelter. So having bushes, small trees, somewhere they can feel safe. They're not going to come to a feeder that's surrounded by 50 feet of open space.
Okay, I did not know that. Now, do they take to bird houses like other birds, or do they just need the shade?
That's a great question. So hummingbirds do not nest in bird houses.
Okay.
They do nest here, but they build their own nest on the end of a really skinny branch.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll see people selling little hummingbird houses. It's a scam. Don't buy it.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that with us. So again, they're at the Woodlands Nature Station throughout the month. We can come in at any time for any of the programs or lectures that you might offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So anytime during the month of August is a great time to see hummingbirds. We're open 10 to 5 every day. They're going to be a little bit more active in the morning. And we do offer programming throughout the month, both Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We've got repeating hummingbird programs.
Fantastic. Where can we find all of that information?
Yeah, you can look at our program schedule on landbetweenthelakes.us. That's the Land Between the Lakes website.
Annabelle, thank you so much for all of the information. Again, hummingbirds, just fascinating. There's also a big thing that you're having this weekend. You're actually having a festival. Am I right?
Yeah, we are coming right up on our Hummingbird Festival, August 5th and 6th. We're super excited about it. It's really the biggest event of the year around here. But if you come out this weekend, you're going to see hummingbirds, obviously, but you're also going to get to watch hummingbird banding. You're going to get to shop local art and artisans. And you're also going to get to attend a lot of programming about attracting wildlife to your backyard. We've got crafts, games, and we'll be selling native plants as well.
Sounds like a fantastic time. You said this is one of your biggest festivals. You guys do a lot there, so it kind of surprises me to hear that this is one of the biggest ones.
Yes, this is the biggest festival of the year.
How many people do you anticipate coming out?
Around more or less 1,500 people. The weather's looking good, so we're hoping for a big crowd.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, for attendees coming out there, is there anything special that we need to do or keep in mind before we head out to the Woodlands Nature Station?
Absolutely. The most important thing to keep in mind is that we are way back in the middle of the woods. So if you're coming for the whole day, and you definitely could, we really recommend that you bring a picnic lunch. The event also is going to continue rain or shine. So it'll be happening no matter what the weather's doing.
Great. So put everything in the car, the umbrella, a rain slicker or something, sunscreen, water, all the things.
Absolutely.
Is there anything I haven't asked you that you would want to share that we need to know?
I don't think so.
Cool. Cool. Well, Annabelle, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing all of your knowledge and information, and have a fantastic rest of the day.
You too. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. All right, stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up that's just as fun right after this.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
Did you know that up to 80% of us will experience back or neck pain during our lifetime? Many of you are offered surgery or addictive pain pills to relieve your chronic pain. At the Dr. Gill's Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief, we have been leading the way to better health, naturally, and have helped tens of thousands of people right here in Middle Tennessee for the past 30 years.
I came to Dr. Gill about 10 years ago after my local doctors recommended surgery. I knew about Dr. Gill and wanted to see if he could help me. 10 years later, I am pain-free, no surgery, and no pain pills.
Surgery is scary, and over 40% of all back surgeries fail, creating a cycle of surgery and pills. There is a safer solution to your chronic pain. Make the call to the Dr. Gill Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief today and get your life back. This office visit is normally $299, but call today and receive your initial consultation, report of finding for just $49. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Call 615-768-8743. That's 615-768-8743.
Welcome back. White Bluff is a town in Dickson County with a population of 4,164 people. This is the beautiful small town that I grew up in. And today, Devon O'Day takes us to White Bluff to introduce us to a sweet shop and the local pharmacy that's now there.
Well, if you're ever in White Bluff, Tennessee, you might blink and miss some very important things, including the White Bluff Trading Post, Sunshine Learning, Fat Pappy's Pizza. There are all sorts of neat little spots.
Let's head west of Nashville to White Bluff, Tennessee, where Serendipity Sweets and Café, profiled in the Dixon Post, resides inside a pharmacy.
I started doing hot cocoa bombs through the pandemic. Did some events. I used to have an antique store, and honestly, the way I came up with the name is the fact that I did a vision board probably 5 years ago, and in the middle of it, it says Serendipity. It's one of my favorite names, and when I started doing the cocoa bombs, we named it that because it was something I wasn't looking for, and that's exactly what the meaning of it is. And so when we had the opportunity to come in here as a cafe, it was kind of a no-brainer to keep the name, and we just added "and cafe" onto it so that it would encompass everything. So we serve breakfast, a little bit of lunch, and then I really like to do the sweets, and we just started doing freeze-dried candy.
What are some of the favorites that people keep coming back for?
Chicken salad. Yeah, we have our lunch specials that serve everything on croissants, so breakfast croissants. We also have bagels. The chicken salad I make in-house. We bake the chicken, I make it all from scratch. I do sweet with savory. Sweet has grapes, savory is onions and celery. So some people mix them, but most of the time they have one or the other they really like. We also just started doing pimento cheese from scratch. So we have that as an option, and then I do hot ham and cheese and BLTs. So we just try to make it simple but good. And then of course they all love my cookies because I make all those from scratch too. We have, 8 or 9 selections. I usually try to do a new one every month or so. We've got white chocolate cranberry, snickerdoodle, which s'mores, chocolate chip, Heath peanut butter, dark chocolate cherry, think that's it right now that I've got in stock. Yeah, and we do cinnamon rolls and have muffins and stuff like that for breakfast too.
Do people come in and take things to meetings in their churches and things like that?
Yeah, they do. And we actually, in May, I guess it was, we did our first dessert bar for a wedding. So, and I've had a few people come in and get several sandwiches, like 20-something sandwiches for an event. So we do some catering. You know, we don't really announce it that big, but it's predominantly me in here, so I do everything. My mom comes and helps on her days off, which is pretty nice. And I actually just spoke with my first teenager to possibly hire some help, which is kind of nerve-wracking to even think about bringing somebody else in, but I'm gonna have to.
What are the hours for Serendipity Sweets?
We are currently here through the end of July. We'll be open 7 to 4, Tuesday through Fridays. On Saturdays, we're here 8 to 2. In August, we will go back to 7 to 2 during the week.
I think it's interesting that during the pandemic, people got really creative. They got really creative. And now we're getting the fruits of those creative labors.
Right. The Cocoa Bombs, we still have them, and it kind of went through a phase, like a phase of being really popular. But certain people still come in and know that I carry them and love them. I got super creative with those. I ended up coming up with like 20 different flavors, which is ridiculous. I used to have an antique store, like I said, so from that I knew some vendors and different people. And so through that I reached out and was able to have them in different stores. I had them in Dixon and Fairview and Franklin and over by Opryland. And if I didn't have that, I would not have made it being a single mom through the pandemic. For 14 years before that, I cleaned houses. And so once that pandemic hit, nobody wanted me cleaning, and my antique store had just closed down. And I had a friend making Cocoa Bombs, and I was thinking, well, what is that? So I went and got some from her. And from that, by the time I got home, I had all these flavors and ideas in my mind, and it just went like that. So it was pretty phenomenal.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
They said I wouldn't make it without a college degree.
They said only a man could be a roofing executive.
They said a former addict always relapses.
They said my amputation would keep me out of roofing.
They said never give an ex-convict a second chance.
They said I could never be a leader.
They said I couldn't support my family as a single mom.
At Rackley, we say they're wrong.
Want to change the world? Change it, one roof at a time.
Welcome back. Before you leave us today, let's go over some of the fun activities happening in the Middle Tennessee area this weekend. First off, you have the Grand Prix happening at Nissan Stadium this weekend. Also coming up, you have the Tennessee International Indie Film Festival that is happening at the Franklin Theater in Franklin. You can still head out to see some indie films there this weekend as well. That runs through the 6th. Also happening this weekend, you have, and this is fun, this is on Sunday, you have the vintage baseball at the Hermitage. That sounds like a great time. So just a couple activities for you and your family or friends to be involved in. Also, don't forget, you have the Hummingbird Festival at Woodlands Nature Station in Cadiz, Kentucky, if you would like to take a quick little drive that way. All right, thanks for joining us here for this Thursday. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow morning.